sure that just like myself, you have wondered many a times how can the narcissist move on so easily, whereas we don't. I'm sure you would want to know what exactly happens, what exactly goes on in their mind that makes them move on so easily. And this is what we're going to be talking about in this video today. Well, my name is Vinny, and I call myself a survivor of a toxic relationship with a narcissist. And this channel is for toxic relationship recovery. Every now and then, I share my own story as well. And this video is coming straight from New Zealand. So, in case you have suffered at the hands of a covert narcissistic lady, you are more than welcome to reach out to me if you would like. You and I could have shared the same feelings for this narcissistic lady. Firstly, I want to make it very clear that these people are not normal. Narcissists are not normal people, and that is why we cannot compare them to us because we are normal beings. They are not. How can they move on so easily whereas we don't? Firstly, if you've just got out of a relationship with a narcissist, you should actually congratulate yourself. You tore yourself away from the abuse, the lies, and the mind games, and you can finally start to heal. The relationship that you've just gotten out of was really toxic, and it breaks us from within, and that is why we feel low, we feel depressed, we feel unwanted, unloved, etc. etc. All these feelings are really, really normal. We feel confused at the end of a relationship, or even when we are in a toxic relationship, we sometimes get confused, feel confused, and that's very normal because of the toxicity of the relationship. To add salt to the injury, though, if you are still in contact with your ex narcissist, it will make things worse. I will tell you why pretty soon. But a tip from my side, please, please, please go no contact. No following them on social media, no texting them or replying to their text messages, no picking up their phone calls. And my advice would be just block them from everywhere that's possible. What this will do is this will ensure that this will ensure that you don't get to see that they're living a high life, which is all a fake life. That's what it is. They don't flash their cars, their boats, their large houses, their happy family, and all those kind of things, because that's nothing else but just a facade. Some facts that would actually help you to heal and to answer your question whether how is it that they move on so easily whereas we don't. I'll tell you some facts. According to psychologists and therapists and also neuroscientists, narcissists are mean creatures, and that is why they can never ever change. They are obsessed with the idealized image of themselves, which is a fake image, which makes them believe to be superior to everybody else. And just to prove to themselves and to everybody else that you were the problem in the relationship, they have to show the world and they have to prove to themselves that you were the problem. And that's why it's important for them to get hold of another person in their life. And that's why you see what you see on social media, or that's what you hear from friends, that the narc has actually found somebody else and is actually living a happy life. That's not the case. It doesn't matter how they love bombed you with love at the beginning, with gifts, compliments, undivided attention, and all those kind of things. This was not true. This was not their true self. They just wanted to show you what you wanted to see. That's why it's important to remember that no matter how happy and in love they look with their new partner, it's only a matter of time before they start belittling and insulting them too. Remember, new supply is just like a new toy, and the new supply is going to get the same treatment like we got. Love bombing, discard, or love bombing, devaluing, and then discard. So yeah, they're going to have the same ending like we did. Now, they are deeply miserable people with low self-esteem. So they create an inflated version of themselves in their mind, giving them a false self of superiority and privilege. And that is why it becomes easy for them to move on because they have to, otherwise they're going to die. They need more supply, they need constant supply. And if you're not the one giving it to them, then they would definitely go for somebody else to get it from. Also, another fact is that studies have revealed differences in the brain structure of those diagnosed with NPD or narcissistic personality disorder, which sheds a whole new light on this subject. The area of the brain responsible for empathy, the frontal lobe, is much less developed in a narcissist than the rest of average normal population, people like us. Therefore, they are physically less able to understand other feelings or others' feelings, and they will struggle to recognize love. They don't have those love feelings in them. We learn how to love from others, but if our brains are less capable of performing this function, which is the case with these people with NPD or with narcissists, or people who are high on the spectrum of narcissicity, we won't learn how to love. We won't know the meaning of love, to be very important, to be very honest, I should say. And also, have you ever wondered why you were not able to reach out or reach a solution when there were problems in your relationship with an arc? Just think about it. You would argue for hours, but you would never be able to reach a solution with an arc. Have you ever wondered why? Again, the same reason, because the area of the brain is is also involved in problem solving, the frontal lobe. These people don't have that area developed properly. So when problems occur in a relationship, the narc will not have the necessary skills to stay and communicate, and that's why they give you the silent treatment. And again, you should actually watch the video that I've made on silent treatment. It's a pretty interesting video. I think it's 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 well liked. Everyone likes that video. You should check that out as well. You would understand why you get silent treatment. At this point, I must also say that if you like my videos, please go ahead and give a like to the videos, give a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel, because I come up with these videos just to help you out and just to help everybody out, and we learn from each other. So it would be a good idea for you to listen to these videos, actually listen to these audios, and watch videos, I should say. Instead of thinking about the fact that these people have actually moved on, the narc has actually moved on, I think it's important that we care about us. We should start caring about ourselves, and we should do something called self-love. We should engage in self-love. Um, oh, before I talk about that, instead of actually working on themselves, these narcs they move on to a new relationship where there are no problems in the beginning. Once the problems begin to occur, though, they will move on. They will again give the same treatment to the new supply. Again, it's all because of the frontal lobe and the fact that it's not developed properly in these individuals. They're not normal people. Their relationships are totally transactional, and we are nothing but supply to them. And that is why we could be easily replaced with somebody else. The narcs, they don't have the same type of attachment like we develop. They don't form memories in the same way rest of us normal people do. They move on so quickly because they need someone else to fulfill their happiness and self-esteem. Normal people create their own happiness. Narcs can't self regulate their happiness. For them, energy comes from outside, from the validation, the praise that others give them. They will easily fall into depression quite easily, because if they don't move on quickly, they would they would go into depression. So that's another reason why they pretend to move on and why they actually move on if they do. The trouble, though, is that after the end of a relationship with us, these people don't do any self reflection. What went wrong in the relationship isn't their problem, so they don't need to do any introspection. We usually focus on the narcissistic or narcissists' lack of empathy, and yes, that contributes significantly to the pain of a breakup, since he or she's completely unconcerned about his actions and words and all those kind of things. His lack of introspection makes it really easy for him or her to get the ground running and start over again with the new supply. They don't take steps to heal. They don't mourn like we do. The realization is not there in their minds that the relationship is over and this relationship meant anything to them. The relation was so toxic that it takes time for us to come out of it and grow. For these people, it doesn't, because they were not in the relationship at all. They were there for just one thing, which is supply. They don't need to. They think that they don't need to recover, because in the real sense, nothing happened to them. It was all our fault. So these are the reasons why we think they have actually moved on. They have to move on, because otherwise they would go into depression. Sometimes they would also take their lives, because they're not getting the supply that's needed for them to survive. What we need to do, though, is how to focus on ourselves. Firstly, you need to remember who this person actually was. Not what you thought he or she was, but what they exactly are, what they really are. This is important, because while it's true that remembering the good moments can help us um, forget about the loss, that's just not going to be true of a relationship with an arc. That was basically a facade. It's with hindsight that we see the love bombing and the rapid pace of seduction that came from these people. All was calculated, all was transactional. So you need to think about what this person actually was, and the kind of treatment you received from this person. Journaling would be a wonderful idea. If you get a chance to journal about what sufferings you face in the relationship, that would just be amazing. Also, you need to spend some quality time figuring out how you got to this place. What exactly made you come to this place? What is it? Have you had a childhood trauma, or a trauma in your life after the childhood? What exactly uh, made you be with the narc for such a long time? And what exactly made you break your own boundaries, or make the narc move your boundaries? So you have to think about that and work on those things. Also, you have to focus on yourself. Use the time to think about what you really want to do in your life, and how to experience pleasure, fun in life. And that's going to take you to the place where you should be. You should stop worrying about the new supply. You should stop worrying about why this narc has actually moved on so easily, whereas we don't. We can't compare abnormal people, which is the narc, to us. We are absolutely normal people. Look, I really hope this video has helped you out, and you can put in your comments and let me know how you feel. Also, there's an email address on the YouTube page, on my YouTube page. You are more than welcome to contact me there. And again, I'll contact you very soon. I'll put a new video out very soon. You look after yourself, love yourself. Self-love is our only way out. If in case we're thinking, if anyone is thinking of taking a revenge, our best revenge is forgetting the narc and moving on, and again becoming strong individuals. Bye for now.